There's this burning frustration right inside when the world around feels like a trap. It whispers promises, freedom, equality, opportunity, and yet every step forward feels like stepping into a maze built to keep you running in circles. Founders, investors, leaders, almost everyone chasing change know this ache too well. You started with fire in your belly, ideas that could turn the tide, dreams bigger than any system built to cage them. But somehow, the rules, the expectations, the tiny boxes everyone insists you fit inside keep pulling you back, squeezing your vision until it's barely recognizable. It's not just about money, not even about skills. It's about the hunger to break out of a system that treats you like just another number, another cog. The world says, play safe, follow the rules, blend in, but your heart screams, no way, not here, not like this. This feeling that something's deeply wrong, that the usual ways just don't cut it anymore. This is the real problem. The idea that startups are only about growth, disruption, as an endless chase of profit and scale, leaves countless brilliant visions suffocated. Social enterprises, those rare ventures born to heal, to build, to breathe new life into broken problems, get lost in the noise. Too many founders feel like they are fighting alone, invisible in a sea of sameness, starved for connection with those who truly get it, those who dare to dream of more than just the next big exit. Professionals and investors want impact too, but the path is muddy, tangled in old expectations and mistrust, and it's exhausting to try breaking through alone. But what if everything you thought you knew about building a startup was just part of the problem? What if there is a framework, not a rigid set of rules, but a living rhythm that could turn every startup into a real force for change? A framework that refuses to settle for surface-level wins or short-lived hype, but digs deep to align purpose, power, and passion like never before? Imagine a path that doesn't ask you to compromise your core, your radical vision, or the unique fire that brought you here. A framework that sees you, not as a pawn in some global economy game, but as a sovereign individual, ready to wield your will as the strongest weapon you have. It's not about following the crowd. It's about burning with the few who refuse to bow to easy answers, who challenge every assumption until only truth remains. This framework invites you to question everything, the systems, the truths, your own fears, and transform every limit into a new possibility. This is not a magic pill. It's not a checklist or a business plan. It's a call for each founder, each investor, each leader to start seeing themselves as part of something bigger, but different. A collective where diversity of thought, radical individuality, and fiery commitment combine to remake the rules. Think about the power locked inside your idea, your values, your drive. Now pair that with a network forged not by convenience, but by alignment, people who match your intensity, your vision, your refusal to ever settle. This sparks something unstoppable. The invisible chains that hold most startups prisoner come from within the old stories we accept. The comfort of fitting in, the fear that stepping too far outside will mean failure and isolation. This framework breaks those chains by honoring the rarity of every individual's fire. It demands patience, because change that matters isn't a sprint, it's a relentless, careful climb. It demands selectivity, because your vibe attracts your tribe, and your tribe is your power. It asks you to be critical, not just of the world, but of yourself, to strip away the lies nestled in your own thinking that keep you small. And most of all, it urges you to be transformative, not just incremental, rewriting your reality with every move. Now, imagine your startup not just as a business, but as a signal beacon, connecting with the few who burn like you do, creating synergy that multiplies the impact of every action. Picture the isolation melting away, replaced by fierce collaboration where every difference adds strength rather than risk. In this world, the rare are no longer alone. The misunderstood find peers. The misaligned find harmony. Your startup becomes part of an autonomous network of changemakers, people who dare to believe that a better world isn't a distant dream, but a responsibility and a gift they carry. This framework helps you see beyond the usual metrics, the quarterly reports, the user growth, the quick wins, and into the deep, sometimes messy work of building something that lasts, something that rewires economies, heals communities, and upends systems built on inequity. Because the real startup revolution isn't about more apps or gadgets. It's about shifting what we value, who we celebrate, and how we join hands across borders and differences. It's about clear connection, founders who refuse to compromise, investors who seek meaning, leaders who look beyond today's headlines to tomorrow's possibilities. And yes, it demands more from everyone involved, more courage to say no, more willingness to lose what feels safe, more hunger to grow beyond your past self. But in return, it gives you ownership of your life's work like never before. It turns the fire of frustration into the fuel of lasting change. It rewires your startup from a fight for survival into a dance of becoming, where impact and profit don't clash but flow together. No one ever said creating real change was easy. The world's biggest problems didn't come from careless startups. They came from a system that rewards noise over essence, sameness over boldness, convenience over courage. If there ever was a time to stop taking how things have always been done as gospel and start building the future on foundations of critical thought and radical authenticity, that time is now. Every second spent doubting or playing small is a second lost from shaping a better world. You have the spark, the uncommon vision, the energy that won't quit. What's missing isn't more meetings, more funding rounds, or fancier marketing. It's a way to connect your fire to others, build strength from contrast, and create ripples so powerful they change shorelines. This framework is the map for those ready to make that leap, to stop dreaming of change and start living it, to shred old rulebooks and write new ones with intention and heart, to turn your startup into not just a company, but a movement that cares so deeply it pushes beyond comfort, beyond profit, beyond status quo, so deeply that it won't settle until the world itself shifts. You're not alone in this fight. There is a quiet, powerful tide rising, somewhere beyond where most venture, where the rare gather not to blend in, but to blaze trails. The secret is not to fight harder alone, but to find those few who burn as fiercely as you, to build together, to become together, to rise together. So refuse the easy, the familiar, the safe. Let your startup be a force that doesn't just chase change, it becomes the change. Because the piece missing from the innovation puzzle isn't more ideas, but more aligned power, more trust in the radical individual, the kind that can bend reality itself. Keep burning, keep questioning, keep building, not for the system, but for yourself and those who dream as wildly, as bravely as you do. The world is waiting for the force you hold inside. Don't give it a reason to wait any longer.